This was a slush fund for the CIA.
Well, actually, you know what? The truth is, you can both be right here.
Oh,
right?
yes.
It's to be found. But Benny, it was only when Elon Musk and his young team of guys with their saber right, that it was there to be found. And Jillian's right that absolutely nobody told the American people about the specifics.
Sam Seder walked into Piers Morgan's studio and found himself facing not one, not two, but three right-wing opponents at once. Talk about an unfair fight for them. Watch as this progressive champion calmly dismantles Piers Morgan, Benny Johnson, and even fitness guru Jillian Michaels when they try to defend Elon Musk's bogus government efficiency claims. When Seder reveals the famous $8 billion savings was actually just a clerical error, their faces are absolutely priceless. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. What happens when one progressive walks into a right-wing trap? Sam Seder was supposed to be outnumbered and outgunned on Piers Morgan's show, but things didn't exactly go according to the MAGA playbook.
Just this whole Doge stuff with Elon Musk. You, I think, posted that the idea that Doge is in any way about efficiency is absolutely a joke.
Well, audits are done regularly of agencies by inspector generals. The first thing they did was to fire all those inspector generals and not replace them. You're clearly not talking about efficiency here as measured in any other way other than allowing wealthy people to get away with cheating on their taxes.
Imagine showing up for what you think is a fair debate only to discover you've walked into the conservative version of the Avengers. That's exactly what happened to Sam when he found himself facing not just Piers Morgan, but also right-wing mouthpiece Benny Johnson and fitness guru turned political commentator Jillian Michaels. The topic, Elon Musk's hilariously named Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, because nothing says serious governance like naming your department after a meme cryptocurrency. The deck wasn't just stacked against Sam, it was practically a skyscraper of conservative talking points. Three voices ready to praise their billionaire hero Elon for supposedly trimming the fat from bloated government spending. Piers Morgan, playing his favorite role as reasonable-sounding conservative, tried framing the entire debate as a simple choice between wasteful bureaucracy and Musk's efficiency revolution. It was like watching a wrestling match where one guy has to fight three opponents and the referee is wearing a MAGA hat. But Sam wasn't having any of it.
Just this whole Doge stuff with Elon Musk. You, I think, posted that the idea that Doge is in any way about efficiency is absolutely a joke.
They've saved any money. It has been largely dismissed as clerical errors on their part, and we still have no substantiation about it. You're clearly not talking about efficiency here as measured in any other way other than allowing wealthy people to get away with cheating on their taxes.
His first counterattack left the panel stunned. He pointed out that instead of doing actual government efficiency work, they were firing inspector generals and not replacing them. No real audits were happening. It was all just a show. Sam hit them with a devastating fact about IRS funding. For every dollar spent on enforcement, the government gets $6 back in revenue. Cutting the IRS isn't efficiency, it's just letting rich tax cheats off the hook. Then came the moment that sent social media into a frenzy, when the MAGA crew started boasting about Musk supposedly saving $8 billion. Sam calmly pointed out it was actually just $8 million. A clerical error that made their hero's savings look 1,000 times bigger than reality. The look on their faces. Piers and his gang scrambled faster than Trump running from a debate with actual rules, desperately trying to change the subject.
President of the United States and the executive branch cannot decide unilaterally that they're not going to appropriate money that Congress has appropriated. What they're doing is fundamentally illegal. I mean, you may think that some of the spending is not worthy. I may think it's not worthy, but that's just not the way our government works. We have the Impoundment Control Act from 1974. We have Train v. New York City from 1974, which is a Supreme Court case which enforces it.
Throughout it all, Sam maintained his composure while being interrupted more times than a phone call with bad reception. Every time they tried talking over him, he just waited them out and came back stronger with more facts they couldn't handle. Facts weren't working for the MAGA panel, so they tried changing the subject faster than Trump changes his legal team. But what happened next proves why you should never skip civics class. When Sam dropped knowledge bombs about constitutional law, the whole panel looked like students who forgot there was a pop quiz on the separation of powers. The debate took a serious turn when they tackled whether Trump and his buddy Elon could legally slash programs that Congress already funded. As Sam started explaining the constitutional issues, Jillian Michaels did what fitness instructors do best, tried to change direction. She desperately attempted to steer the conversation toward transgender operas and other culture war nonsense that had absolutely nothing to do with government efficiency. But Sam wasn't having it. He calmly cited the Impoundment Control Act of 1974, which basically says presidents can't just refuse to spend money that Congress has allocated.
And to say that USAID was
simply... You've said a lot of words, but you've said nothing. You haven't addressed the Constitution, the Supreme Court cases, the Impoundment Control Act.
And so what America voted for was America first, and transgender operas in Chile isn't exactly America first.
None of that. You can say that you don't think it's right to feed starving children in Africa.
That's like your mom giving you money for school lunch and you deciding to keep it for video games instead. It's not your call. Sam even pulled out the Supreme Court case Train versus New York City to prove his point that what Trump was planning would be totally illegal. When Benny Johnson tried to sound smart by vaguely mentioning Article 2 of the Constitution, Sam politely but firmly pointed out that his argument completely missed the fundamental issue of who controls the purse strings in government. As Sam put it, the whole point is, if I say that this is where the money goes, that's where the money goes. Boom, constitutional mic drop. But the MAGA crew, running out of actual facts, switched to emotional pleas about government debt. Of course, they conveniently forgot to mention how Trump's tax cuts for rich people blew up the deficit worse than a kid with unlimited access to a soda fountain. In a desperate gotcha attempt, Benny asked Sam about why counties around Washington, D.C. are so wealthy. Big mistake. Sam didn't miss a beat, explaining it's because of lobbyists like all of the ones that have been appointed to Donald Trump's cabinet and to political positions. Then came the knockout punch. Sam invited Benny to join his campaign against lobbyists, suggesting they work together to address the issue. Poor Benny was left speechless, probably wishing he could escape through a trap door in the floor. And there you have it, folks. Sam Seder gave us a masterclass in how to handle the MAGA crowd when they start spewing nonsense. What makes Seder so effective isn't fancy rhetoric or shouting matches. It's his trademark calm demeanor coupled with rock-solid facts that leaves his opponents flailing like fish out of water. When these conservative talking heads try their usual tricks, changing topics, making emotional appeals about government waste, or throwing out random constitutional articles they clearly don't understand, Seder just methodically picks apart their arguments like a surgeon. No drama, no theatrics, just pure factual devastation. This debate wasn't just entertaining television, it's a blueprint for how progressives everywhere can fight back against the MAGA propaganda machine. Facts still matter, and as Sam proved, when you stick to them, even the most stacked panel of Trump loyalists crumbles like a cheap MAGA hat in the rain. The Orange Turds defenders just can't handle someone who refuses to play their game.